What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into the FantasyPros YouTube channel. My name is Lucas Wenzel, and today we are talking 10 players that you should be looking to stash ahead of the Week 2 slate and ahead of next week's waivers as well. But before we dive into any of those players, if you want a chance at winning a signed Tyreek Hill Miami Dolphins jersey, courtesy of bettingpros.com, your place to start betting smarter and not harder, you need to subscribe to the FantasyPros YouTube channel right now and comment below on this video. That's it. That's all you need to do. We'll be announcing a winner right here on the channel, so make sure to turn on those notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up and to come claim your prize when we announce it. First up on this list is Rams wide receiver Tutu Atwell, who's rostered in 17% of leagues. Look, Puka Nacua was awesome in week 1, setting an NFL record for most targets in a debut, but let's not allow Tutu's week to go overlooked. He racked up just as many receiving yards as Nacua on 7 less targets. What also sticks out is that Atwell commanded a 21% target share on 79% of the team's snaps, while also running a whopping 3.4 yards per route. It was also encouraging that Atwell's 19.8 yards per reception didn't just come from streaking down the sideline. Sean McVay moved him all around the formation, and since the results were clearly successful, I'm hoping Tutu continues to be deployed in this way in future weeks. Next up is Chicago Bears running back Roschon Johnson, who's rostered in 29% of leagues. Look, the Bears got smoked on Sunday, so there's really no telling how this backfield will actually shake out when it comes to carries. That being said, Roschon Johnson did play the most snaps out of the Bears trio at 39%. He was given 5 carries, he found the end zone, and he was healthily utilized in the passing game, grabbing 6 of his 7 targets. Believe it or not, that was tied for the team high with Cole Kmet and Darnell Mooney. Clearly, Roschon Johnson has already earned the trust of the Chicago Bears coaching staff, and if you're in a PPR or even half PPR league, Roschon should be a valuable running back stash on your bench. Third, we have Tank Dell, wide receiver for the Houston Texans, who's rostered in only 4% of leagues. Now, there's nothing really flashy about Tank's week 1 performance. He only drew 4 targets and caught 3 of them for 34 yards on 48% of the team's snaps. The box score isn't what's inspiring me to stash him this week, though. After the game, Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans said we can expect to see more snaps for Tank Dell moving forward. This is likely due to the fact that wide receiver Noah Brown landed on IR with a groin injury after week 1. He played 52 snaps to Tank's 37, and if this Texans team continues to play from behind, there's a good chance Tank Dell could carve out a role for himself alongside Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz, and Robert Woods. I'm going back to the well this week because my next stash is Luke Musgrave, tight end for the Green Bay Packers. I'm honestly shocked he's rostered in only 22% of leagues, considering he finished as the tight end 13 in week 1. He was a full-time player, taking 75% of the team's snaps, and I am absolutely in love with the advanced metrics because his 3 receptions on 4 targets for 50 yards does not tell the whole story. Musgrave led all tight ends across the league in air yards in week 1 with 72, and better yet, his average depth of target was a whopping 18 yards. It's evident that he and Jordan Love have already built up some chemistry, and if Christian Watson continues to struggle with this ankle injury, that chemistry should continue to build in a great matchup against the Falcons in week 2. Number 5 on my list is Zach Moss, running back for the Indianapolis Colts, who's rostered in 24% of leagues. Now, this Colts backfield was terribly uninspiring in week 1. Deion Jackson averaged an abysmal 1.1 yards per carry. He was given 14 rushing attempts and only mustered 15 yards. He did play a small role in the passing game, catching 5 passes on 6 targets, but he only totaled 14 yards. Backups Jake Funk and Evan Hall combined for only 5 touches, and now Evan Hall has landed on the IR. This backfield is very much for the taking, and even though we have zero clue what the splits would be between Moss and Jackson, all Moss has to do is be the more efficient back, and the starting role should be his then. Not to mention they play the Texans this week, and Moss could certainly find the end zone and stumble his way into the top 25 running backs. Coming in at number 6 is Carolina Panthers wide receiver Terrace Marshall, who's rostered in only 1% of leagues. Now that honestly probably makes sense considering how poor the Panthers offense looked last week, but I'm somewhat intrigued by Marshall. DJ Chark missed Sunday's game with a hamstring issue, and Marshall was the one who reaped the benefits. He drew 6 targets from Bryce Young and logged a whopping 90% snap share. His 6 targets were second on the team, only behind Hayden Hurst, and his 11.5 yards per reception led all Panthers pass catchers. Look, it's not a sexy stash at all, whatsoever, but given his activity in week 1, it's worth stashing to see what happens for week 2 and beyond. Up next is Tennessee Titans running back Tyjae Spears, who's rostered in 15% of leagues. I bet it wasn't on your bingo card last week for the rookie out of Tulane to outsnap the king Derrick Henry against the Saints. You'll notice a theme throughout this video that the box score never tells you the entire story. Spears only rushed 3 times, but racked up 27 yards. He drew 4 targets and was a poorly thrown ball away from a huge receiving touchdown, which would have really driven Derrick Henry managers up a wall. The snap share and opportunity in the passing game are notable here, and if you are a Derrick Henry manager, I would advise handcuffing him with Spears sooner rather than later. At number 8 is Allen Robinson, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's rostered in 9% of leagues. I honestly cannot believe I'm telling you that Allen Robinson led all Pittsburgh wide receivers in targets last week with 8 of them. Now, Deontay Johnson was well on track to lead this team in targets before his injury, but now Allen Robinson is the one who benefits. Of course, George Pickens is the next in line to be the top dog in the Steelers wide receiver room, but all 4 Steelers wide receivers to catch a pass on Sunday drew at least 6 targets. Granted, they were getting absolutely stomped by the 49ers, but Robinson's 12.8 yards per reception were also a team high. Maybe it's a Matt Canada thing, maybe it's a Kenny Pickett thing, but in a wild turn of events, we're now looking at Allen Robinson once again as the second option in an offense where there should be opportunity for him. Next, we have Jake Ferguson, tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, who's rostered in 37% of leagues. I'm honestly surprised Ferguson is rostered in more leagues than Musgrave, but in some ways it actually kind of makes sense. Even in a routing of the Giants, Ferguson drew a team-high 7 targets. For context, that was a 28% target share. Now, he only caught 2 of those 7 targets for 11 yards, but the question all offseason long was Jake Ferguson or Luke Shoemaker? After week 1, we already have our answer. Ferguson played 72% of the team's snaps to Shoemaker's 28. In an offense where we've already seen the likes of Dalton Schultz thrive, Ferguson could be in line to play a pivotal role in this offense. And as I always say, the tight end position, it is a vast, desolate wasteland, and I am more than willing to take shots on guys who give me flashes of upside. Last but not least, we have Indianapolis Colts wide receiver Josh Downs, who's rostered in only 2% of leagues. I was worried about the passing competence of Anthony Richardson coming into the season, but he settled in fairly well week 1. Josh Downs earned 7 targets on the week, which was second to only Michael Pittman Jr. Again, his 3 receptions for 33 yards does not tell the whole story. Downs flashed great speed on a 22-yard catch and run and played 57 of the team's 72 snaps. What's icing on the cake is that Downs' competition for the slot, Isaiah McKenzie, only played 1 measly snap. Anthony Richardson seems to already trust Downs as a frequent option, and Downs appears to have the slot wide receiver position all to himself. Bigger things should be in store for Josh Downs as he continues to get acclimated to the league. Alrighty, y'all, that is all I have for you today. Remember, if you want your chance at winning a signed Tyreek Hill Miami Dolphins jersey, courtesy of bettingpros.com, your place to start betting smarter and not harder, you need to subscribe to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel right now. Comment below on this video, and that's it. That's all you need to do to win the jersey. We will be announcing a winner this week, so make sure you turn on those notifications so you can be alerted when new episodes are up and to come claim your prize when we announce it.